afternoon. We're live here with Hot Mic with Desert Sports Live. I'm Albert Velarde. Stephen Parks, we got Corey Kitchens over here running production. And goodness, Stephen, we got a show. We've been working on this show for like a year and a half now.
Yes, we have.
We got these guys in studio. It's the Farmington Scorpions from Farmington High School, just coming off a huge win over their crosstown rival, the Pedro Vista Panthers, 3-1. I think that game was on Tuesday. And so they're riding high right now. They've got another game coming up on Friday. Got another week's worth of games. And then, of course, it's a crosstown rivalry game yet again and the Knothole game. But before we get everything started, we're going to turn it over to Stephen. We got some housekeeping things we want to tell you all about, and then he's going to introduce our players.
That's right. First of all, we want to get started by talking a little bit about, if you haven't followed us on Facebook or Instagram or those things, go ahead and get over there and share. We've been posting some pretty cool stuff. I made a video for Aztec softball. We posted a reel today on Instagram. We just been kind of trying to get that going. Also, please, if you can, go to YouTube and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We really need subscribers to go on there and start subscribing, because if we get to a certain point and we get so many minutes a month, then we can start monetizing. That's going to help us out. So anyway, if you can do those things, we would very much appreciate it. So now, all that being said, let's get started. We're going to go ahead and introduce our guests today. We've got Wyatt Boognl, we've got Danny Hagstrom, and we've got Sebastian Delgado. Welcome, guys. We're going to have some fun tonight. We're going to find out all about Farmington baseball and maybe a little bit about some of your personal stuff, your likes, things you like to do, things like that. But we're going to have a good time tonight. Albert, go ahead and get us started, man.
Yeah, guys. So excited to have you guys here. You know what? Let's jump into the game this past Tuesday. We'll start with Sebastian here. Plays second base for Farmington High School. He's a senior for the Farmington Scorpions. You know, we were out there getting video for KOBF TV because y'all will be featured on our segment in not this coming Saturday, but the following Saturday. And you know, there's a couple of errors. You guys were up 1-0. It's a rivalry game. I'm sure that the nerves, whatever, the feelings are high. A couple of missteps there allowed Pedro Vista to tie it up 1-1. The one thing that I noticed, and we were talking about this over there, is we've seen absolutely zero panic out of any of you. Eli Evanston, your starting pitcher, was on the mound. He was he was in a groove. He didn't want to stop a whole lot. He was moving. So walk us through about that. You know, when you're standing back at second base, because as an infielder, your mind is always working. You got to figure out where you're going with the ball. You know, you got like covering behind Boognl if they decide to bunt. Where am I going with everything? But you know, walk us through some of the thoughts that go through your mind in a big game like that.
When we scored one, I was like, all right, well, here we go. And then Danny, he told us we were gonna put 3 up the first inning, and then we put up 1. So I was like, all right, well, here we go. And then whatever I was the one, I kind of messed up. We should have got 2 outs. I made a bad throw, and then from there I was just like, it's all right, it happens. My teammates kind of brought me up a little bit, and then when we got into the dugout, that's whenever we just said we got to keep the sticks going, and then they went from there, and we just kind of stayed hot. We went. They threw up a couple zeros, but then we just capitalized from that, and then just started going from there. We started playing a little small ball a little bit, and then went from there.
You know what they call small ball, right?
Bunting.
Smart ball.
Yeah.
And that's where it's at. You know, I mean, you got a lot of people a lot of teams, you know, they'll know the situations with the coach and different things like that. We'll turn it over to you, Wyatt. You know, what I like about when I see you out there on the field is you're always talking. And that is an important feature to have, whether it's your catcher or it could be your shortstop, you know, whoever the case it is. The one thing that I love about your game is you're always communicating with everybody, because there's so many times that as players they get lost in the moment. We all know what we're talking about, right? Like you should be throwing it to first, but you try to get the double play, or maybe you try to throw it to third, whatever. It's kind of a bonehead play, if you know what I mean. We've all done it. Put our face in our gloves. We have some choice, kind words for ourselves, but you know, that's what I liked. You know, so walk us through, you know, when you're out there on that field and maybe your leader role that you feel like you take on, because you are always directing traffic out there. You're like the quarterback.
Yes, sir. I try my hardest to try and keep everyone in the loop with telling outfielders outs, situations, stuff like that, as well as coverages for our infielders, and just trying to keep everyone in the loop. Because us guys at the corners, first and third, we try and be the leaders, give coverages, help our teammates out. I try and keep our pitchers' mindset right, no matter what's going on, good, bad, and just try and keep them in a groove so they can keep working towards the goal of getting outs and ground balls and pop-ups.
I love it. We'll move over to Danny. One of the, in my opinion, I mean, it's crazy how you could pick an all-star team and still not have enough second teams or third teams to put Farmington and PV with those type of players. I mean, you guys match up so well with one another. One of the best outfielders, I believe in my heart in the state, one of the best first basemen in the state, one of the best second basemen out there, and it's not because you're in studio, the numbers tell a story. You know, Steven and I on our broadcast, when we're in center field, we talk about how you're like the black hole, man. I mean, everything that's hit out there is finding your glove. That's where it's going. And I think, Steven, didn't we see, I mean, I think in the Farmington Scorpion tournament, the invite, I think you host somebody out at home.
Yeah, I did.
It was a wild play, man. Steven and I were so pumped up because there was no doubt. Typically, you know you're going to hit your cutoff, or let's keep the runner on base, right? There was zero doubt where you were going with that ball. And I mean, it was a straight dart to the catcher. You know, walk us through your mentality out there in the outfield and what your goal is, what your approach is when you're out there in the game.
You know, I guess I could say I'm a little bit of a selfish player. I don't know if that's good because everything that's it I want to go get. And last year, you know, having a slower left fielder kind of like gave me that more like ball hog mentality, I guess you could say. But with the two outfielders I got out there paired up with me, Gabe and Pope, you know, it's a no-fly zone out there, really. Like anything in a gap, we believe that we can get. And I think they have the same mindset that I do, too. Like anything in the air is theirs until someone else calls them off. So I think this is the best outfield I've ever played with, and I really enjoy playing with those guys.
I mean, we love calling the game.
Yeah. Yeah, we talk all the time about how extremely fast the outfield you guys are in the outfield, and I mean you have to hit it in the perfect spot in a gap to even make it happen. And I'm gonna go back to Wyatt. I want to ask you a question real quick, because we you know, of course we were at the Farmington Scorpion invite, and that last game, and we need that out. You know which one I'm talking about.
Yes, sir.
And I'm not trying to rip off a Band-Aid or anything. I wanted to ask you, like, what's your mindset when something like that happens? And I mean, and now you guys are in this intense situation, and I mean, it all turned out great. Eli comes out and walks off with that hit out into right field, I believe it was, or whatever. But when that all went down, what happened to team-wise? You know, like, how did you guys work through that?
I think it comes to like the feel of the hold of the breath to see if the outcomes, and with the situation that happened, it ended up we're not getting that final out, and it puts a little more pressure on everyone. But at the end of the day, I feel like we all trust each other. We trust our outfielders that back us up there, and then our pitchers have to trust us to go do our job, which we failed on that part. But at the end of the day, we came back out the third out, and then we trusted him to go up and hit a ball.
Yeah, because you had to. I mean, you guys had to go back into the dugout after that happened, feeling like you guys had that one in the bag, and then that happens, and you have to go back in the dugout. And I was curious because everybody came out and you guys just started hitting. I mean, I can't remember who it was, but you had a couple runners on base, and then Eli comes up and just hits that one down right field, and game over.
I think it too kind of sets a fire underneath us, and this year we're really good with the sticks, and we're all very confident in our abilities at the plate. And I think we all just have our timely at-bats. Mm-hmm. And I think it just, again, comes to the trust of everyone, and we all have faith in one another that we're going to do our jobs. So.
Wow, that's great. Yeah, that one, because I just was like, I'm going to ask Wyatt about that, what he was thinking whenever that all went down. But yeah, it was an extremely tough spot. But
I mean, imagine broadcasters where we are just ginormous fans of you kids and having to call that on the air and explain it, you know. And some people may take it the wrong way, even though you're just painting a picture of what's happening out there. But we started calling you guys the heart attack kids because I mean, you making things so interesting, and we were about to lose our minds up there in the press box where we're broadcasting games. But not only did you have one come back, you had two.
I just want you to know we were extremely tired at that point too.
I think
I was just giving you a hard time.
Those were late nights.
Yeah, that was our 15th game in 3 days and 16-hour days, and it was like exhausting. But man, it was great. That was a great ending to a fun tournament that we got to call. But Sebastian, tell us a little bit about how you're feeling about where you're at in the season and kind of, I mean, you guys had a good win against PV. You know, like, I know you guys are thinking about state playoffs, what that looks like, how that's aligning. Give us what your thoughts are on that.
I think we should be 4-1, but things happened. We had a couple games where we lost by one, and it was just like mistakes that we did. And I feel like if we could just clean things up and keep practicing and having good practices, we could go pretty far. I think our next game, after this last game, we got a lot of confidence for this next game coming up. So I think the sticks will be pretty hot. Our defense is pretty good. It's getting there. I think we had one error last game, and that was it. And then I think the games before, we were at like 6-7 errors a game or something like that.
It was not good.
We do talk about errors all the time when we're broadcasting because one error can change the entire inning. I mean, we've seen 2 outs, you know, a runner on first or no runners on, and all of a sudden it's bases loaded, 2 outs, and somebody knocks in two runs or clears the bases, and it's just crazy. It can just one error when they could have had the last out, they overthrew first base or something, you know, something goes terribly wrong. Yeah. But I always wonder, do you guys talk about that in practice? How are we going to reduce our errors? I mean, everybody's got to do their job, right, Danny? Like, tell us what that's like when you guys discuss that.
Well, what was it, last Saturday? It was last Saturday, right? Coach texted us Friday night, hey, guys, we're going to have practice Saturday morning, 8 a.m. I was like, you're kidding me, right? But, you know, coming off that loss against Volcano Vista, that was Cibola. Yeah. Like, the stakes were hot. When we score 14 runs, we need to win the game. Yeah. For sure. And so errors really cost us there. And the coaches were mad. And so Saturday was just straight defensive day. And I think it really showed against PV on Tuesday. Just like we were more mentally locked in. Not to rag on CV, but he had the one error, and it was just a throwing error. It wasn't even like he played soccer or anything. So it was. I think it helped a lot significantly. So I think that Saturday practice really put our defense back where it needed to be.
You could tell, and I was there. I was at the fence when I seen it. You make that play 1,000 times.
Yeah.
You're going to make it, 999 times out of 1,000, and just, do you ever go out there and kind of critique? Do you ever go back and watch video? On that throw, really all you did is you threw a sidearm.
Sidearm, yeah, and that's what I talk to Bug about all the time. Yeah.
I knew that in a heartbeat. The second I seen your arm angle down there, I was like.
Yeah, once I released the ball, I knew it was messed up, and I was just like, dang. And then I'm pretty sure like a batter before that, I got a ground ball and I made a play, perfect throw, and then right after that is when we started talking. We were like, yep, every time I make a bad throw is whenever I come from the side.
I think that's another thing too with our infield. We have pretty good communication and just talking about where hitters like to hit and stuff like that, and as well as just little things like that of where your arm slot is and what we can do to make stuff like errors and things like that less frequent.
Yeah, that communication is huge. I mean, and furthermore, I mean, understanding the situational baseball, you guys understand that, so you understand what I'm saying. The fact of that you seen the ball coming out of his hand wrong, you immediately came off the bag, which was, in my opinion, the smartest play at that time, because what happens at first base, as you know, and as all your first baseman is always going to try to make a play. He's going to try to overextend his reach, knowing the moment in that game that you have to come off and catch that ball. The reason why I'm saying this, listeners, some of you may understand, some may not, but if you don't come off, that he's rounding. And another run scoring, I mean, possibly more. The guy gets to second, possibly third.
And especially where the dugouts are at Ricketts, it's right behind first base, and so is that opening. So anything past it goes straight into the dugout, and that's a free base to second.
That's the smart play. When Steven and I had the opportunity to interview your guys' coach, Coach King, before one of your games. I can't remember if it was the first one or the second one in the Scorpion invite, but you talk so highly actually about the three of you that are here. I mean, obviously about a lot of the other players, but specifically the three of you. And he was talking about the different leadership qualities that each one of you come with. The energy levels, one's more kind of mellow-tone, but a big leader, which was you. You're not a big yeller or screamer, like that. But
Yes,
when you talk, people listen. They're going to turn around, listen to you, and then they're going to turn around. Danny's, fired up. He's ready to go. I mean, that's what we like.
For sure.
Same with Sebastian. I mean, a lot of passion out there. That comes from your dad and your uncles that I'm so very well known about. But, I mean, that's what you guys need is that huge passion like that. So let's take it to you, Wyatt. What is your guys' main goal that you guys are talking about to finish out this last tail end of state? Because the reality of it is a couple of games that you should have won. I agree. There's two. Steven and I were talking about this. 3 of the 4 games that you all lost were by one run. One run. And then you got one game that got away from you a little bit. So what's the focus now? Well, I mean, what are your fans going to be expecting from Farmington here moving forward? Because it's a big 2.5 weeks coming up for you guys.
Yes, sir. I would say our biggest goals going forward is make the routine plays, trust the sticks, trust our coaches with whatever decisions they choose to do, positions, hitting, lineup, stuff like that, as well as just can stay together as a family, as a brotherhood, and just keep moving forward and having fun with the season. That's the biggest thing. Baseball's fun. Take away that, there's no need to play it. So we just stay having fun and win some baseball games.
Yeah, that's true. You have fun, but I know you guys are thinking about what's going to happen down the road in 2 weeks. And we discuss these things too. We're always talking about, whether it's you or PV or Aztec or Bloomfield or whoever, in the area, who's going to be where. And I mean, at this point, if you were to make it into state right now, you're traveling. You're on the road somewhere, right? So I'm guessing right now you're having to mentally prepare yourself. You've got to clean up errors. You got to make sure you're working on the hitting, right? Tell us what practice is looking like right now. I know that coaches say we don't want to look ahead. We don't want to look to these games or whatever, but it's got to be in the back of your mind and going, okay, we really need to get these wins. You're looking at the next few teams that you're playing. We got to get these wins to be able to position ourselves here to make sure we can do this or that. But what's that look like in practice right now? Do you see is everybody focused? Is everybody relaxed? Tell us what that's like going to practice right now.
I think it depends on the day. With how our district's set up, game days are Tuesday and Friday. Monday's a pregame day. Everyone's locked in, focused, ready to execute on Tuesday. Wednesdays, I feel like, are more of a recovery day, kind of more focused and relaxed. And then you focus, come back on Thursday, and then it's back to game mode, and you got to get ready for Friday. And on the way to play at Ricketts, everyone wants to play at Ricketts, and you want to show good in front of the hometown. So I think it's also with Tuesday, you're going away, and you have to be ready to back yourself up away. So
Danny, you guys are laughing over here. Fill us in.
I don't think Wednesdays are recovery days. I think Wednesdays are our work days, just because you can't have just 3 relaxed practices, because that's all we get now is just 3 practices and then that one Saturday that we happen to practice. But so I don't know. I just don't think Wednesdays are relaxed days at all.
So it's different for everybody. What about you?
I'd say the same
Sebastian?
as Danny, and then I don't know. We do like some running too. We do a lot of running on Wednesdays now, but I think that also is building us closer together. So I think that is going to help us a lot, because I remember on JV we did that a lot, and we were at, what was it? What was our record?
it was like 17-6 or something.
Yeah, we
like
were pretty good on JV. So I think that's a big thing that'll bring us together and keep us stronger together.
That's a great story, playing JV. Steven and I talk about we talk about this all the time of players that sometimes they feel they're too good to be on JV. They're too good to be down there playing, and they would rather have a jersey and sit on the bench and, hey, I'm on varsity, I got a varsity jersey, but you may never see the field. I like that the fact that you all have come through the ranks of JV, and then now, we talked to Coach King. Steven and I got to interview him, as we mentioned, and this team's been built for quite a while now, and now you're seeing the fruits of the labor of what's happening, and it's still a young team, right? I mean, how many seniors you guys got?
6, 7 or something like that.
Yeah, 6.
Yeah.
But still starters. I mean, it's a pretty fair mix between the starters and the seniors, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Next year's gonna
Eli's
be a big
gone.
year.
Delgado will be graduating. Eli's graduating. Who else is starting that's a senior? Pope. Is Joe? Joe's a junior, right?
And then Madison.
Yeah,
Okay.
Declan Madison.
So then you guys got your guys coming up through JV, which is pretty. I've been watching the Facebook posts on the JV stuff. So talk to us a little bit about your coaching staff, guys. I mean, Danny, we'll start with you. I mean, what does this coaching staff mean to you, and how do they help you dial in?
They definitely are a lot. Like, they help a lot. Coach King kind of entrusted me with a lot of, I don't know, just like he trusts me. I've been a starter since freshman year, so he's kind of just like relied on me, I guess you could say. I mean, freshman year I was not good at all on varsity. I'm not going to shy away from it, but I think it's paying off now. So I wouldn't say admire, but like Coach King because of like the trust that he put in me, even when I was a freshman, not showing any fruits of my labor yet. But I think the guys can agree with me that this year they're like more focused, like practice is more focused than it has been. Which I think is showing off because we've had more wins this year than we had the last 2 years combined, and we're not even through district yet. So I think that that's really helped us so far, is like the coaching just maybe being a little more hard on us and not so relaxed. But I'm game for it. So.
Do you guys actually get to watch any game film on other teams or anything like that, or is it mostly just scouting reports from the coaches?
Like scouting.
Yeah,
reports.
just scouting
reports.
reports.
I want to know, did any of you go back and look at that center field view camera whenever you guys were playing those teams in the tournament?
Of course they did. Everybody did.
See what those pitches were looking like?
Anytime y'all are there, I feel like all of us go back and try and watch stuff and see how things go.
You got to tell us, man, what's it like to play baseball and having your dad as one of the head umpires out there, and just having that, because he's been around for a long, long time. Man, what is that like? I had a lot of people asking, man, you got to ask Wyatt about that with his dad and all that. What's that like for you?
So it's cool. It's nice because I get to learn both sides of the game, and the last 3 years I've umpired myself.
Oh, that's right.
So
you have.
It's a summer job, and it's cool to see both sides of the game and just be able to have that different conversation with them of seeing what could happen, different things, how he feels like the umpires are doing, how he thinks I should adjust to it, and things like that, as well as just
maybe get a few extra calls.
That's what I was
sometimes.
We want to know the juice, Wyatt. We want to hear the
I
good
feel
stuff.
like more than I don't usually get more calls my way. I feel like if anything, the umpires are a little more against me, being that my dad
That's
is
right,
who he
actually,
is. So
that's the way it has
sometimes I gotta
to be.
work harder. Exactly.
It just is what it is, right?
It is, yep.
Well, we
Makes me
did
better for it.
We felt, I mean, and you guys might feel different, but from our perspective, the umpires, I mean, the strike zone has been pretty consistent.
Yes, sir.
And man, that outside corner, that is the spot that every pitcher works. It doesn't take long in a game, and we see those pitchers hitting that outside corner of the plate. Is that what you're looking to do whenever you're up there on the mound? You said you pitched last night, right?
Yes, sir.
You threw last night. Like, is that something that you key in on and try to find that spot?
100%, especially with us using BB Core metal bats. You leave anything middle in, and you don't know what's going to happen with it. If you throw it outside, you can be more expecting of a rollover or soft pop-up. Sometimes you get lucky if you jam a kid on the inside, but a lot of these kids are looking for that middle in pitch that they're trusting with. So
Well, I've noticed a lot of these kids these days just don't understand the where they're at in the game as far as understanding a pitcher's throwing inside. You got to get your hands around quicker. easier said than done when you're facing guys that are throwing heat like you guys throw. You know, Hagstrom, we always get pumped up when we see you on the mound because, I mean, we've been doing your guys' games for 3 years, and I think we've seen you throw twice. That's it. And you came in relief in one of them, and we got to see you. No, you didn't start at the Scorpion Invite. You came in relief
sir.
again.
You
So,
came in at the end of that game, right?
Yes,
that
sir.
last game,
I'm
yeah.
a closer, so.
well, you should be because you throw pretty hard.
Thank you.
But do you go back and, I mean, what's the pitching staff like for you? Because you throw too, right, Delgado?
Yeah,
Okay.
I haven't thrown at all this year, though.
Well, you haven't even got, but you were injured, right? Or were
Yeah.
you sick? I can't
It
remember.
was my shoulder. Something was
So
wrong with
you
my
had to go
shoulder.
easy on that. But what, I mean, what's your pitching coach like? We'll start with you, Danny. Well, like what do you guys go through?
I would say bullpen. We bullpen 2 days before the game, right?
Yeah.
Just working through the pitches, kind of like walking us through the game plan a little bit. Obviously, my game plan is just come in and throw hard for
Throw gas.
15 pitches or something. 12 of them are going to be fastballs, but I don't know, just feeling the changeup, feeling the slider, feeling the splitty, just working through those pitches, and then Eli's got a whole arsenal, so I don't know how his bullpens go. That's why they always take so long. So
We do a lot of spin work, too, while we throw. Like
What's
during
that?
warm-up, just like off speeds, like slider, curveball.
Yeah,
So
when
that's from
we
like
do-
60 feet, some light.
Short
Yeah.
distance, easy
Just
on
to
the
get,
arm.
just to get the feel of it. Really.
yeah, just the feel out of the hand, really.
What does it feel like for you on the mound? I'll tell you, when I played high school, my arm was such garbage. Literally, I told you guys, I mean, no joke, right or wrong, I was taking 12 ibuprofen before practice, 12 after, maybe more. My brother, both, and I had a torn rotator cuff, still have it. I have damage in my elbow and all that, so I wasn't able to throw in high school. But I'll tell you what, I miss that rush so bad being up there, because in the reality of it is, it's you and that hitter.
Yeah.
And that's it. Everything else shuts off. But there's some times where that hitter is just so darn good. You're like, all right, I'm going to pepper this right down the heart of the plate and hope, Wyatt makes a diving catch at first, or, Hagstrom, climbs the wall and picks it up. You get what I'm trying to say. Like, what do you feel when you're up there, man?
I feel like when I start pitching, it's just like 9 versus 1. It's just me and my defense against the batter. I just got to pitch it and trust in my defense, really, to get the out. And that's really it. I mean, I haven't really thrown this year at all, so I can't really say anything. But last year, I felt like it was pretty good, and I trusted my defense, and I threw strikes a lot, actually, yeah.
Well, hopefully we get you up
I
there
know.
and get you in there now. All right, so now the fun's going to start. Let's get right into it. We're going to start with Wyatt. Tell us about your pregame ritual, because every baseball in the world has a pregame ritual.
There's got to be a pregame
Let's
meal,
hear it.
right?
There is a pregame meal. When we're at home, it's 4 eggs and a bagel. And then
Nice.
it's just relax at the house, kind of tape up the wrists, ease into the uniform. And then we usually go hit before the game. And then when we get to the field, it's work mode. Go to work and serious, have some fun, and, do all the normal throwing, stretching, work a lot on stretching and mobility. So I do a lot of that. So.
4 eggs and a bagel.
4 eggs and a bagel.
Wrist taped. All right, what's yours, Danny?
Man, I just get home, put my jersey on, use the bathroom.
Very important.
I gotta get back out the way. That is for sure one. And then I don't know, I have a weird one. I can't hit with my jersey tucked in. I just started that this year. Seems to be working so far. So that's the only thing I got for me.
Don't you dare change it.
Yeah.
All right? You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, for sure.
We're going to be watching that
I'm
next
gonna
time we're
start-
broadcasting.
everybody who's listening is going to be like, is Danny down there? Oh, yep, his shirt's untucked. What about you, Sebastian?
I say I go get a carne asada burrito from Rodolfo.
Now you're talking, man.
Yeah, I go home for a little bit, and then I usually watch some YouTube or listen to music, and then I'll head to Empire, get ready to hit, and then that's really it. Go to the field to get ready. I'm pretty
Well,
locked in.
what's your conversation with your parents, and we'll run that through. What's that talk with your family, with your parents during game day? Maybe before the game starts. Is there any kind of conversation, there?
Well, I'll talk to my dad a little bit, and then he'll just tell me good luck. I'll talk to my stepmom. She'll tell me good luck, too. Usually I'll ask my mom if she needs me to go let the dogs out for her, and then that's really it. And then she tells me good luck, love you, and then I'll talk to him after the game.
All right, the simple life over here. What about you, Danny?
I don't really talk to them much on game day just because they're always at work, but definitely before the game day, the night before, me and my dad chatted up, asked me how I'm feeling, anything that I think I need to be working on, but he just tells me not to think during the game.
Yeah.
Just see the ball, hit the ball. Really, if you're at the games, you'll hear him yell that a couple times. So
See the ball, hit the ball?
Yep.
Oh, we're going to track your dad down
right.
now. We got to get him on video, Steven. Remember that. What about you, Wyatt?
I think it's pretty much the same way with Danny. We always sit down at the dinner table before, kind of talk it up with my parents and just see how things are going, feeling. Me and my dad just talk about the normal stuff, how the games feel, how the week of practice went, and all that fun stuff. And then after game, it's just I love you and hope you have a good game. We'll be cheering for you loud.
Well, I got a question. I got another question. I want to know. I'll start with Sebastian. What do you do for fun? What do you do to relax, to take your mind off of baseball? Anything you're doing, school? Like, what do you do? What's a hobby, whatever it is? What do you do outside of all this stuff?
I say play the game, listen to music. Just try to be by myself, really, honestly. Just get my mind off of some things.
Just downtime.
Yeah.
Don't go fishing or
No, not
go do
really.
any of that stuff? Or
No, not really. I go to the clubhouse sometimes, and that's really it.
wow.
Hang out with friends and, yeah,
Just chill,
family.
huh?
Yeah.
Cool. How about you, Danny?
I would say before the season started, go dirt biking.
Man,
But
you have a dirt bike?
I don't have one personally.
Oh, I was like, I need to get your number, man.
But
I have one and I don't have anybody to
I
ride with.
definitely ride, but with baseball season and me not being the smartest on the bike, just
Coach is probably like cringing every time he hears that, right?
So I just right now just go home, do homework, listen to music. So that's really about it for me.
How about you, Wyatt?
I love to weld, so anytime I can get underneath the hood and do some welding, it's kind of
Right, your sister told us about
You
that.
are talented, dude.
It's
That
kinda-
gate was pretty bad, eh?
Thank you. Yeah, that's kind of my downtime. It's also my work, but I enjoy it. It's kind of peaceful just to go to work and just do that, and as well as listen to music and hang out with some friends and stuff like that after school and other things like that.
It's always good to have a welder around. My son-in-law used to pipeline weld, so
No joke. That's funny because it's so true. You all will learn this.
just
when you get out of high school.
whenever you graduate, all these guys are calling you. Hey, can you come weld this for me?
Yeah, man, this darn thing broke again. Can I? Well, that's a great segue with Steven's question is talking about the conversation with the parents and then what you all do to relax. I mean, since we're all on this side, Wyatt, you're extremely close to your entire family. Your family's very close-knit. Not that nobody else isn't, but, we see a lot of we've talked to your sister, your dad, your mom is just a sweet, sweet lady to us when we show up to the basketball games to broadcast at Farmington High School. What do your parents mean to you, man?
They're the world. They're my biggest support systems, and I don't know where I'd be without them. My dad teaches me how to be a man and work and be a hard guy and just do what I need to do to support myself and hopefully one day a family. And my mom's my mom. I'd say I'm a mama's boy. I do anything for her. I love her to death. And
She's definitely the nurturer.
yes,
She's pretty awesome.
We sit down whenever she tells something's off with me and just have a heart-to-heart conversation, and I love her, and she's my rock. I mean, they both are. My whole family is, so.
Awesome.
And that is. Danny?
I have a special connection to my mom and my dad. Like Wyatt said, my dad's kind of the one that's hard on me. Taught me how to play this game that we all love. So that resonates in my heart. My mom, I guess her job is just to kind of like let him know when he's being too hard, if that makes sense.
It does.
So I think they are the perfect balance of parents that I needed personally. I think that's really like helped me throughout the way. My mom teach me how to like nurture, be kind, and my dad's taught me how to push through it when you need to push through it. So.
100%.
That's the first time somebody's put it like that. A perfect balance of parents that I needed. That kind of puts it in at a different perspective, man. That was awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
Sebastian.
I'd say the same as them, honestly. My dad, he's taught me how to be a man and how when things get hard, just to keep pushing, don't give up. My mom, my stepmom, they've always been there and they've always loved me. So they do mean everything to me. And my grandma, they do mean a lot, all of them.
Man, I've known your family for a long, long time. And again, a lot like Wyatt's family. And unfortunately, I haven't been around your family a lot, Danny, but I've been around the two of theirs. And hopefully we'll change that moving forward. But, your family is very close. And they're always at the games. Your uncle's there a lot, too. Yeah. I mean, I know that whole family down there. So, and they always come and talk to Steven and I every time we're around. So we certainly appreciate that. So. Yes, all right, let's get into some more fun stuff. We talked about the parents. Let's talk about some of the people at your schools that make a big impact on you. So, Sebastian, who's that big impact person at the high school for you? I mean, and it could be your coach. It could be one of your favorite teachers. Let us know who they are, what they teach, and, let's talk a little bit about them.
I'd say probably Seacrest.
Gosh, that guy's been around forever, hasn't
he? He teaches construction. Usually, like, whenever I go to the bathroom or something, I'll end up walking down to his class, talking to him for a little bit, and then we'll just talk about baseball here and there, and then we'll talk about life. He'll give me some good lessons, and I took his class 3 years, so me and him built a pretty good connection, and we got pretty close together. But, yeah, I feel like he's helped me get through my high school year a lot.
Well, if you can't find Sebastian, he just narked himself out. He's not at the restroom.
Where he's going to be.
He's in Seacrest's office, and that's where you can find Sebastian. What about you, Danny?
I would say personally, it's probably my friend Ian. Him and I are in a lot of AP classes together. And junior year is the academic year. So him and I bounce ideas off of each other, help each other with work if one's slacking and one's did it, or like if we just need help understanding the subject in general. So I'd say him just because we have every class we have together. So it's just like someone that I can rely on too. So I think
that's cool. Like we haven't had that before. It's just so it's your friend.
Yeah, for sure.
That's really cool.
And that's somebody you'll be friends with for the rest of your life right there. Yeah, that's a guarantee.
For sure.
What about you, Wyatt?
I've personally never had his class, but I would say Mr. Mitch, Coach Mitch, he's our hitting coach.
That's Paul Mitchell, right?
Yes, he's always just a friendly face in the hallway. I've walked past his classroom for the last 3 years at high school, so it's always just a friendly face, and we always just make jokes, have fun, and he just is always a good face to see in the morning when either after a hard game or just stuff's going on. It's always a person to come to have a one-on-one conversation with and be able to change the way a day's going.
I tell Steven this story all the time. He gets sick and tired of hearing it, but you won't meet somebody more kind than Coach Mitchell, Paul Mitchell. I coached him, Coulter Favorino, close friend of mine who's now the head coach over at Aztec High School. We made it to the Connie Mack World Series, and Coach Mitchell was about one of two players that absolutely lit it up for us when we played in the Connie Mack World Series. So I always love to give him his props out there. That was years and years ago, but he was such a great player. And that guy, he never complained. Not one time did that guy complain. Anything we asked him to do, he'd get out there and do it. And
yes, sir.
Man, it came through big time for us in the Connie Mack World Series. So
he's a good guy.
Talk to him.
He's a good guy.
He that guy could rake. I mean, Coach Mitchell could crush back in the days. I'm telling you.
He's our fungo coach for a reason.
Now, getting him to second base was another situation. All right, sorry, Paul. But
did you tell him to unhook the trailer?
We got to unhook that trailer. But I'll tell you that you hear the old saying. If you listen to Stephen and my broadcasts of sports, we always have the saying when somebody comes up, like you guys, that's the last guy you want to see at the plate. When there's a close game, that was Coach Mitchell. That was the last guy you wanted to see at the plate. Literally, let me try to get this guy out because I do not want to face him because he was that tough of a hitter. And so I always like to tell that story about Coach Mitchell. So
Yes, sir.
Well, that's a good segue talking about your favorite teachers. Let's we'll start with you again, Sebastian. Tell us, like, what's the future look like for you? What are your thoughts? What are your plans? What are you thinking is going to happen after you move on?
I don't know. This year, senior year went by really fast. I mean, I only got I think they said 25 days left or something till graduation. I plan on going to San Juan College for a trade to become an electrician or a plumber.
Yeah.
I got a couple friends that they're plumbers and electricians, so they said they could put in a good word, and they know a lot of people. But I do want to keep on playing baseball, so I just want to keep putting myself out there to other coaches, schools, and stuff, because I think baseball would be pretty fun.
Keep
going to
those
play at the
options
other
open.
level. Yes, sir.
Yeah. How
I
about
pointed
you,
at
Danny?
Steven because Steven talks a lot about going in
well,
for a trade.
Yeah, there's a lot of kids, and there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, there's a lot of kids that want to go to college or whatever, but there's a lot of kids that's not for them. And I mean, plumbing and electrician is great. Electrical is great because in those two fields, there's a lot of, and I literally was talking to a plumber not very long ago, and a lot of those guys are retiring and leaving the trade, and there's nobody. They have nobody there to come up, just like welding. I mean, that's a great skill to have. So there's nothing wrong with wanting to go and do a trade, but also it's cool. You want to leave your options open. If somebody needs you for baseball, then I mean, that'd be cool to go play baseball as well. So how about you, Danny?
Obviously I want to try to continue to play baseball after high school. Junior year, I don't have everything pieced together yet, but school-wise, I want to go to some sort of engineering. Everyone on my dad's side, that family's an engineer. He has 3 brothers that are engineers. He's an engineer. My brother's an engineer. So I don't know. I guess our brains just kind of work that way, and that's something that I kind of want to pursue alongside with baseball. So
Yeah, nothing wrong with that career. So,
Absolutely.
yeah. How about you, Wyatt?
Right now, I'm more looking towards finishing out trades and stuff like that. I'm working towards getting an associate's degree in welding engineering and statistics, and at San Juan, and doing some other classes at San Juan. But again, I'd be down to go still play baseball and have some fun with that, and hopefully working to start a business in welding too. So.
Yeah, there's a lot of that going around right now. I see it every day whenever I go to work. So. That's great. I love the fact that you guys want to go on and play. What was it, a couple weeks ago, we got to interview Reese Chapman. I don't know if you guys heard about that or saw that. He plays for Tennessee, and just an amazing story. Getting to go to college, played in the College World Series, won the SEC championship, right? Showed us all those rings and stuff. That was pretty cool. So, yeah, I definitely want to leave your options open. And if you can go play ball, go play ball. If it helps pay for your school, go do that too. So that'll be a good time.
Well, as we start to close that out here, I think I'd like to ask, what does Farmington High School mean to each one of you? Because, we talk to a lot of athletes, and the reason I asked that question, I graduated from Aztec. Actually, we both did. You guys didn't know if you knew Steven coached soccer for Aztec, went to 2 state championships. So he's been to the show. He knows what it takes. He's been through the grinds and the bumps and all that and stuff like that. So he certainly understands what you guys go through. But what does it mean for you, especially you two are next year, but you, especially Sebastian, you're going to be graduating, man. You're going to be leaving all of that behind, and it's probably going to take you about 2 weeks, maybe a month, maybe somewhere around there for it to really hit you that it's done, and you're not driving into that parking lot anymore, and all of that. What do you think that's going to feel like, and what does Farmington High School mean to you?
I think Farmington High School means a lot to me. Most of my whole family came from Farmington High School, so it does mean a lot to me. So me graduating from there, it just keeps on going. Then my sister next year. I don't know. I think it's gonna definitely be different, and I don't know. I'm not ready for it, honestly.
Yeah, man. I don't blame you. We were talking about that outside, and Steven and I say you can almost go back to every video that we have, is whether Steven says it or I say it. enjoy these moments with your friends and your teammates, because once you get graduated and that piece of your life moves away, which has been 4 years of your life, or maybe more. Actually, you guys more, because you all have been playing ball for so long together. Yeah. But, how about you, Danny? I mean, you still got a year to think about. You got a year to put this together, or a half a season, I should say, and then you got a full year. I mean, maybe you hadn't thought about it till we just asked that question, but maybe it's kind of going through your mind and kind of makes you kind of gets you in your feelers. I mean, what does it make you think about?
Yeah, for sure. Just like thinking about just like graduating, like having to grow up. It is kind of scary because, this is, I don't know, the first fourth of your life or something like that. So it definitely scares me a little bit, but everyone's got to move away from their parents at some point and become their own person, and for us, their own man. I feel like that's definitely something that I don't know if I'm ready for yet, but we're trying to get prepared for it. So.
How about you, Wyatt?
I mean, the last 3 years, getting ready to be 4 in August, I met a lot of great people, a lot of great teachers, a lot of people that have meant a lot to me these last 3 years that have been a support system, and they're behind me and next to me, and it'll be weird to walk across the stage in 12 months and see all that fade away and just go into adult life and see where that takes all of us and stuff like that. So
the days go by slow and the weeks go by fast.
Yeah.
they do.
Well, if there's one thing about playing a sport, it does prepare you, because you're going to be on a team somewhere later on down the road. I mean, we all have jobs and we're all part of a team, and it does prepare you for that. And you guys, obviously, I mean, you guys are very well grounded, and you guys got it together. I enjoy seeing that. But before we get done, I want to ask, we always ask this. He knows I'm going to ask. We always ask this because I want to see the expression on your face. Tell us a good story, something funny, something that. See, everybody goes like this. Oh yeah, like there's something. They always start laughing because you think of a good story. Tell us some good story, something funny, something you guys have enjoyed as a team, something that's went down that you guys can all laugh at. But keep it PG, right? That's the hard part, huh?
Yeah.
Any good stories? Any that you can share?
I'll let y'all go ahead first.
I'm thinking right now.
His might get him in trouble if he's letting other people tell.
You can see him thinking like, how do I tell this story?
Not.
Or even a memory that you'll always keep in your heart.
Even
about
a game or a memory,
situation.
something.
I have one my freshman year whenever we went down to Las Cruces. Something we always, I guess not always, but something we did my freshman and sophomore year. We didn't do it this year because it was just straight Las Cruces teams in the invite. The center fielder at the time, Hunter Martin, who I learned a lot from, he was stealing second base. And their shortstop, Steven Malam, he plays for LSU now. He landed on Hunter's hand, the nastiest cut I have ever seen. He was like nursing it in the hotel room. Oh, it was so gross. It was just like skin flapping off. He was throwing the ball to me in left field. The ball had blood on it, and like it splattered all over. It splattered on my gloves, so I had to get my glove cleaned off after because of it. And it was, I don't know. That was just like my first coming to varsity baseball, and so that's just something that I'd always stick with.
No stitches?
I don't think he did get stitches. No, I think he's too tough for that. But too
I
stubborn.
like that. I like too tough for that. By the way, we need to talk before we get into your story. What's the deal with all this protective stuff you got? You guys have 15 pair of gloves in your back pocket. You've got you got shin guard pads on both legs. You guys got an elbow pad.
I have to tell
I'm
you
not
that
saying you guys. I'm just saying in general.
I hear
What
this
is up with
every
that?
game. I hear about this every game. So yes,
I get
please
the
answer his
elbow
question.
pad. I'm down with that. Everything else, I don't
wear
get it.
any of that. Like just for that reason, like I don't wear an elbow pad or a shin. I do have a sliding mitt just because of that story I just told on my throwing arm, my throwing hand, because I kind of need that more.
Yeah, you kind of need you in the lineup. Yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah, I don't know. I can understand it, but personally, I don't wear anything.
It's just the game has changed a lot. You know, all right, the ladies are gonna bring this up because we were just at a softball game, and let me ask you, how many girls had an elbow pad on, or a shin, whatever you call that, or the sliding gloves? Take a wild guess. How many?
None.
1.
Zero. Zero. Okay. Anyways, let's go ahead. What's the story about yourself here, Wyatt? Something you'll either funny or you'll never forget it.
I mean, always the bus rides are always fun, but I think a big memory was my first time traveling with varsity. We were going down to state, and our first round in state a couple years ago, and we had yoga, and I was I was lost. I didn't think we were gonna go to yoga, and we pulled up in front of a yoga studio, and I was like, all right, I guess we're gonna go.
We're doing this.
Yeah,
As a team, you guys went and did yoga.
Yeah, and seen a bunch of
we went to yoga in Hobbs too.
Yeah, seen a bunch of guys that aren't very flexible try and be flexible. It's funny hearing all the moans and groans and trying to get into positions. And
Watching Coach Mitch try to do this.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny.
Oh, he's in trouble now, boys. When we get off air, I need all the stories. What about you, Sebastian?
Like Buck said, the bus rides are pretty fun. The overnight staying, like at the tournaments and stuff, we got a lot of memories there. But I think one memory that I think will always be funny is when we had they call it Mitch's Fun Run. So it was at Ricketts last year. I went to Costa Vida a couple hours before, ate a whole lot, and then I didn't know we were running. And then we started running, and we had, I don't know who it was recording us. There was someone like taking a video of us.
Oh yeah. It was
I was running. We had to run like 4 laps or something, and I just started throwing up on people.
Yes.
Was it the NMAA guy, or was it the commercial guy?
It might have been the commercial guy. I'm not sure, but I started throwing up on the commercial.
We need to get our hands on this video immediately.
Could probably make a reel out of that.
yeah.
All right.
I forgot about
By a
that.
raise of hands, do either three of you know what a sack nasty is?
They haven't been to college yet.
Not yet. I just wanted to see if they knew it because I never heard of it either. Steven tells a story, amazing. So we had Tyler Wolford on here, who was a PV graduate, went on to Midland College in Texas, and then ended up at Oklahoma State, made it to Super Regionals. You guys know who he is. Insert the story.
Oh yeah, he just told us when he was in junior college. The best part about it was he just said it in passing, and Albert like, wait, stop. What did you say? When they'd get on the bus, they'd get their brown sack lunch or whatever, and it would have a nasty bologna sandwich in it and stuff. And he said that some guys would stick the cheese on the window to warm it up and then slide it back on their sandwich.
Nice.
And the reason Albert's asking you that is because he talked about in high school, the moms get you snacks and you have all this stuff. You get on the bus and you get, everybody, it's all nice. And then you get to junior college and it is not the same. The little sack you get does not have snacks in it. It has a bologna sandwich and maybe a bag of chips, and they call it a sack nasty. So prepare yourself if that's the case.
Get used to it. Yeah, because that nice spread that your moms and dads had out there at the Scorpion Invite with the, none of that
No more
happens.
Booster Club nice goodies.
Yeah. Well, anything else? Anything final, Steven?
No, we appreciate you guys showing up and taking some time out of your day and coming and seeing us and hanging out in the garage with us. We always have a good time and appreciate you guys showing up. So thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Well, we want to wish you guys the best of luck. We're going to be following you. Hey, it's not over, and you guys got some work to do, and I think your all's approach to each game is proper, it's right, and no need to press. Just go do what you guys do best, and that's playing baseball, loving on each other, that family, because in the end, that's all you guys got, man, is out there, is each other. And you're going to need every one of you to pull through to get to that end game, because it can happen. You guys are right on that fence.
Yes, sir.
Literally, it's in your hands.
Yes.
Right here.
For sure.
You guys will dictate what happens to Farmington High School in the next 2.5 weeks. So we want to wish you guys the best. And we'll be praying for you guys. We're going to be paying attention, watching you. All your family, you know, we want to just let you guys all know that we're so proud of these boys of yours and role models that they're becoming. And Farmington Scorpions are a legit team. I mean, they're ready to go. They get in that playoff. We watched it from PV 2 years ago.
Yep.
They got in there a low seed and they rocked people. And you guys are set to prime for that as well. So go do what you guys do best. Love every moment of it. Congratulations to all three of you and your team, and we'll wish you guys the best moving forward. So it's Farmington Scorpion Baseball. We got Sebastian Delgado. We got Danny Hagstrom. We got Wyatt Boognl. Wyatt, of course, plays first. Danny center field, and Sebastian at second base. All of them pitch. Hopefully we'll get to see the two of you throw soon.
Well, we'll see you at the Knothole game. I don't know who's going to be pitching.
We will be at the Knothole
We don't have to
game,
do the
so-
production, though. We just
That's
all we
right.
have to do is come broadcast.
That's
so.
right. And actually, one last thing I wanted to tell you guys, if for any of your teammates, you all know who Haley Bassing is. She runs Panther Vision. They're partners with us for that. She will make any videos, recruiting videos, her and her team, if you all are interested in it. If you're graduating, if you're a junior, now's the time to start getting that. So you know how to get a hold of her. If you don't, let us know. We'll get you in touch with her. She will help you all and her team help you guys make recruiting videos. So throw that out there to you.
Thank you.
And all the other PV players and Farmington and anybody else, they're out there. But anyhow, thanks for rocking out with Desert Sports Live. God bless, and we are out.